last spring was the first that I felt tired and realized I was growing old. Maybe it was the rotten weather we'd had in L.A. Maybe it was the rotten cases I'd had, mostly chasing a few missing husbands and then chasing their wives once I found them in order to get paid. Or maybe it was just the plain fact that I am tired and growing old. The only real pleasure I'd had at all was following Joe DiMaggio, belting the apple at an incredible clip for the New York Yankees. Well, it's the middle of July now, and things are worse than they were in the spring. In the spring, I wasn't holed up in a dingy hotel ducking the police. Hello. Let me have Richmond 4421, please. Lieutenant Nolte, please. Nolte. I'm at the Casa Marina. Room 502.
Is Moose there?
Come alone.
I asked you if Moose was there.
And I said, come alone.
Two more murders. That's a total of 7. I want Marlowe brought in. Do you know where he is?
Casa Marina. He asked me to come alone.
That's not a good idea. Now, you understand why we want him brought in, don't you?
Yes, Commissioner.
Good.
Wait here.
How long should we wait?
Until you make lieutenant.
Yeah?
Snow White.
With or without the dwarves?
Without.
Come on in.
Malloy with you?
Relax, will you? You know there's no way you could hide under the bed or the closet.
I gotta bring you in. This case is busted wide open, and you're the patsy.
I want to tell you all about it.
It won't change anything.
Are you going to listen or aren't you? Come on, sit down, will you? Sit down. I was working a $25 a day breeze trying to locate a 15-year-old runaway from Carmel, an honor student, majoring in men. She got all A's, but none of them on a report card. She had only one other interest, dancing.
It seems to me I've heard that song before. It's from an old familiar score. I know it well and I never leave. It's funny how a theme recalls a favorite dream. A dream that was so.
You know, you remind me of Harry. You're very much like Harry. He was very much the same type, you know, strong and silent. I used to dance with Harry like this. You know, I may not be the most beautiful girl in the world, but you know, I could make a man as happy as anyone. Really upset when it ended, but I got over it. What did you say your name was?
Harry.
My parents sent you, didn't they? I'm not going.
Look, would you like to dance your way out? Do you want to walk out, or would you like to be carried out? It makes no difference to me.
Realized we had to give up a marvelous dinner party and drive all the way down here from Carmel to pick you up.
Look, can't you settle that on the way home? Right now, there's a small matter of $25 plus $5 in expense money.
Pay the man, Charles, and give him a tip.
I don't accept tips for finding kids. Pets, yes. $5 for dogs and cats, $10 for elephants. Thank you.
Get in the car.
Next time she runs away, get somebody else. I was trying to stabilize below the belt when this guy the size of the Statue of Liberty walks up to me.
What are you, a cop?
No, I'm your fairy godmother. I started to walk away.
Private digs, huh?
When a hand I could have sat in took hold of my shoulder.
What's your name?
Marlowe, what's yours?
Moose Marlowe.
Get down! He didn't bat an eye. Fear wasn't built into his giant frame.
I want you to work for me.
You let me guess. You want me to try to find the two guys who were trying to shoot you, huh?
I want you to find my Velma. I ain't seen her in 7 years. She ain't wrote 6.
Where the hell have you been for 7 years?
In the can. The Great Bend bank robbery. 80 grand. I did it solo. Ain't that something?
Yeah.
I want you to find my Velma.
Look, man, 6 years, that's a long time not to hear.
She'll have a reason.
I'm sure she will. Why the hell were they shooting at you?
Maybe we ought to go to Florian's. That's the last place my Velma worked.
What was she like, this, Velma?
Cute. Cute as lace pants.
That's something to go on.
Hey, what you been doing, man?
He walked me slowly across half of L.A. till we got downtown.
Hello, Mama. How you doing?
Laughing a good time, Charlie.
Just don't want all this
Hey, this is a colored neighborhood, man. It's been that way for a long time.
Let you and me go on up. And maybe Nib will come. They might know something about my Velma.
Now, how the hell would they know anything? It's a colored joint.
Let you and me go on up, huh?
Okay, but leave off carrying me, will you? I can walk by myself. I'm all grown up now. I go to the bathroom by myself and everything.
I got the number. Wait, no, that's mine. I got it done.
Shine box.
Been picked by all the good never projected. 52 years old and ain't never had enough of nothing but used to. What did I do this time?
I'm looking for a white girl named Velma.
Hey, Henry.
Stand up to it, man. No white folks here, brother. Just for the color.
I said I'm looking for Velma.
Velma, you says? No Velma here. No hooch, no girls, no nothing. Just a scram, white boy. Just a scram.
Velma used to work here.
Velma used to work here. Velma done retired.
Yeah, send him on, Henry.
You shouldn't laugh.
Maybe I should do this. Oh, man. Damn. Well, this one going back to shoot that, you ain't gonna do nothing about it. Shoot.
Yeah. Well, looks like you just may have the lonely job of spending that 80 grand all by yourself.
Now you're gonna tell me where your boss is?
Mr. Montgomery's in the back. Big fella.
Can I speak to you a minute, Mr. Montgomery?
What do you got down there?
Got me a sawed off.
That's illegal. Besides, I don't think it'd stop him anyway.
All I wanted to know was where my Velma is. He tried to tell me with this.
Jesus. You've had a busy day. It's a good thing you don't get out of the slammer more than once every 7 years.
I want you to find my Velma.
Yeah, okay, fine. I will. Meanwhile, maybe you better beat it, huh? Because the cops might think that you've sprained your parole.
Maybe you got something there. I'll keep in touch.
I'm in the telephone book.
Okay. Help me find my Velma, huh?
Yeah. Hey, Malloy, this Velma, she got a last name?
Valenta. Velma Valenta.
Velma Valenta. The $50 felt snug against my ribs. The joint had emptied out, so I called you, Nulty, and had a few drinks. Mr. Montgomery didn't seem to mind. Right here, fellas. Big Black is dead. "35 minutes. That's not bad for a killing. Lucky it wasn't something serious."
Don't worry about it, Marlowe. It's just another shine killing. No space in the papers, no pictures, no nothing.
You're gonna get your picture in the paper. Front, sideways, back, numbers. Don't you worry about it. No sweat. It was self-defense, Nulty.
You told me on the phone the guy that killed him is your client?
Yeah, that's right.
Do me a favor, Marlowe. When he gets in touch, tell him to come over to the station and sign a deposition. Oh, he can write, can't he?
Oh, yeah. He might be a little shy.
Well, for that kind of a killing, who cares? Well, you explain it to him. You're a big boy now. We gotta go through the motions, otherwise I get in trouble. With Eleanor Roosevelt.
Eleanor Roosevelt.
I couldn't find any Florian in the phone book. When I got outside, I had this vague hunch about the flea bag across the street. I sparred with the night clerk for a couple of minutes, but it was like trying to open a sardine can after you broke off the metal lip. It was something about Abraham Lincoln's picture that loosened him up. I'm looking for anybody that knows anything about that place across the street. Florian's, when it was a white joint.
There's a man played in the band upstairs in room 210.
Is there an elevator around here?
If it is, I ain't seen it.
Thanks. The corridor gave me the willies. It was the kind of place I've always dreaded I'd wind up in, alone and broke.
Who is it?
My name is Philip Marlowe. I'm a private investigator. I'm not with the city, the state, the county, or the feds. I'm not with any collection agency. I'm looking for Florian. You used to work for him, didn't you?
Come in.
Thank you.
Hey, sit down.
Thanks. The clerk downstairs tells me you used to have a band across the street.
Yeah. Tommy Ray and the Sunrays. I had a couple of records. You ever hear them?
What'd you play?
Trumpet,
This, Florian, did he have a first name?
Mike.
Do you know where I could find him?
He's dead.
Was he married?
Could be.
Do you know where she lives?
What's in it for you?
It's a job.
Who for?
The fellow's trying to find a girl named Velma Valento. You remember her? She worked across the street, too.
I didn't know they had names.
This, Mrs. Florian have a first name?
Jesse.
You, don't know where I could find her. A couple of bucks, isn't it? Well, if he comes back to you, get in touch, huh? You never know. So long.
Mister. Hey, mister, my daddy wants you.
What for?
Are you a policeman?
No. Are you a policeman?
No, I'm a baseball player.
A baseball player. Come here. Tommy Ray told me she was listed under her maiden name, Jessie Halstead. Turned out she was living in a dried-out brown house with a dried-out brown lawn in front of it. He told me a pint of bourbon could turn out to be my best friend. I wondered if I should add it to the expenses. Hello, anybody home? Mrs. Florian? Jessie Florian? Tommy Ray says you are.
Matter of fact, you got a name?
Oh. Marlowe. I'm a private detective.
Can't be about Mike. He was poured in a coffin 4 years ago.
But I feel like a fly out here.
Come on in. I had no time to get fixed up or nothing. All the company I got.
Well, at least it doesn't give you an argument.
Yeah. Marlowe, Philip Marlowe, private investigator. Come in. Tommy Ray still living across the street from the place? With that nigger he married and that kid?
Yeah, same place.
Just about ruined him in show business, marrying a nigger. He come to Mike's funeral. What you want to see me about?
I'm looking for a girl, Velma Valento.
It's a hot day, isn't it? It's funny. When I'm thirsty, that's about all I can think about.
Just so happens
Careful, mister. You don't want to be dropping anything this valuable.
Why don't you step out and get us a couple of glasses?
Why don't you take a load off your feet?
Thanks.
Velma. You know, I was in show business, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I did a song and dance act. That's how I met Mike. I used to work for him. He had a nice place for entertainment. I sure missed the business. Haley. Jessie Haley. That was my name. That was good. Had an agent and everything.
Did you ever catch my act?
No, I don't believe I ever did.
I'm blue all day Monday, thinking of you Sunday.
That's one day when I'm with you. It seems like I cry all day Tuesday. I die all day Wednesday. Oh my, how I long for you. And then comes Thursday.
I was good, honest I was.
I'm sure you were.
Better than Velma. Maybe not as pretty, but I had a lot of pep. You know, it's funny. She was the only tramp that ever worked for Mike that he didn't use like a mattress.
Oh? How come?
I guess he was afraid. She had this boyfriend, a half-crazy hooligan, built like a beer truck, Moose Malloy. He's in the can. I get it. He's out of the can, and he's looking for her.
You, wouldn't have any idea where Velma is, would you?
But I can find out. If I like a guy, ceiling's the limit.
How about another drink?
Sure. This stuff dies painless with me. Don't know what hit it.
You wouldn't happen to have a picture of her around, would you?
But Tommy Ray must have one.
Tommy told me he didn't even know her name.
Why would he say something like that?
I don't know.
What was the name of that hotel again?
Crescent.
Tommy Ray, please. Tommy. Jesse Florian. Oh, it's okay, it's okay. He's here.
It took Mrs. Florian nearly 10 minutes to convince Tommy Ray that I was kosher. Then I went back to Ray's hotel to get a picture of Velma that he'd held out on me. Andrew, you got that picture? I figure there must have been about a couple of 100,000 girls who were as cute as lace pants who'd passed through Hollywood in the last 7 years. And most of them had taken those pants off at one time or another while trying to make the grade. So I went to a friend of mine who ran a burlesque joint. He gave me the name of an agent who knew most of them.
Cute little redhead. Song and dance gal. I never forget her face. Nice legs, too. And generous with them. But it's not a Velma. It's Linda. Linda Gilbert.
What happened to her?
Did a couple of Busby Berkeley pictures. And then she went nuts. But I really mean nuts.
Where is she?
Camarillo.
May I? Changing her name from Velma Valento to Linda Gilbert didn't help her make it, or keep her out of an insane asylum. As soon as I saw her, I knew why she hadn't got in touch with Moose for 6 years. She wasn't going to get in touch with anybody for the rest of her life. I'd found Velma in only 2 days. DiMaggio was doing pretty good, too. He'd now hit in 33 straight games, 9 away from the consecutive game hitting record.
Revenge, Russia. Hi, Mr. Marlowe.
You can kiss your $5 goodbye, Georgie. DiMaggio's going all the way.
We'll see. He's got 9 more games to go. And each game gets tougher than the last. I know what pressure is, Mr. Marlowe. One time I won 19 straight. So you better watch how you spend that $5. Hey, what do you think of this guy Hitler?
What about him?
He invaded Russia.
So did Napoleon. It's a hell of a lot easier than hitting them 42 straight, right?
Hey. Hey, yeah, read all about it. Hitler invades Russia.
I was thinking that I was out of work again, and that my bank account was still trying to crawl under a duck when I smelled my next client.
You're Philip Marlowe, a private detective?
Check. You smelled great. Come on in.
You've been recommended to me as someone who can be trusted to, say, keep his mouth shut. I'd like to discuss the matter with you. My name's Lindsay Marriott.
Sit down. Well, what's the problem?
It's a very slight matter. I'm to meet a couple of men tonight and pay them some money. I thought I'd like to have someone with me. You carry a gun?
Sometimes, yeah.
Well, you won't need it. I'd probably be better off going alone, but I'm not much of a hero. And I'll be carrying a large amount of money.
Yours?
No. I'm acting for a friend.
You just want me to go along and hold your hand?
I'm afraid I don't like your manner.
No, I get a lot of complaints about that. Who recommended me to you?
I have to confess that I picked your name out of the phone book.
Well, why didn't you take the AAA detective agency or any one of the couple of dozen that come before my name?
I liked your name best. Really, I did. It's strong.
Okay, go ahead.
Have you ever heard of Phi Tsui jade?
No.
It's the only really valuable kind. A few nights ago, a friend of mine was wearing a necklace made of it. And she was held up.
What's it worth?
Well over 100,000.
Now, what's the plan?
Simply to go where I'm told, hand over the package of money, and receive the necklace back.
How much money?
15,000. That's why I decided to have you with me. And I'm willing to pay you $100 to do it.
Now, wait a minute. You want to go off and park in some dog petting place. There's only one problem. By now, this thing's been very well planned. There's not much likelihood of them roughing you up, as long as you play ball. But I don't think they're going to like the idea of your turning out to be twins. One of us might get hurt. Not much I can do for you, Mr. Marriott. However, I will take your $100, and I'll tag along for the ride. I'll carry the shopping money, and I'll do the driving.
That means you'll come.
What the hell? You're goofy about my name. Speaking of names, this friend of yours, what's her name?
I'd prefer not to mention it. Meet me at Beach Road and Pacific Coast Highway at 8.
Check.
At 8, then.
All right. Hey, I like your name, too.
Been judging a flower show in here, Marlowe? Is that the winning daffodil that just walked out?
No, I had a hunch you'd be around, Billy. So I had the office sprayed.
You told me Malloy would come and see me when he called you.
That's right. Now just pretend you're a detective, Melty. Try to figure out what happened.
You're funny.
Look, can we talk alone? He makes me nervous. I have the feeling I should be slipping him a fin or something.
Wait a minute, I don't have to take that kind of shit from you.
Come on, wait outside.
No, wait a minute.
Wait outside. Come on, wait outside.
And don't steal the doorknobs.
Look, I need Malloy. I gotta bring him in. The heat's on from upstairs.
So what happens if you don't find him? They're gonna take away that classy new suit?
Why the hell do you care so much about him?
I don't know. Ever since I saw that movie King Kong, I've been a sucker for any gorilla that falls in love with a girl.
Marlowe, if you know where he is, I'll nail you for aiding and abetting.
Aiding and abetting what? You've got a dead Negro. Nobody gives a shit. So what's changed?
Nothing's changed.
You got any idea who tried to kill Malloy?
Yeah, we're working on it.
Oh, who's in charge? Billy Rolfe?
What the hell do you mean by that?
Malloy's girlfriend is in the booby hatch. That's what. My nose is twitching. That's what. An ex-con kills a colored fellow in self-defense and you just wash your hands clean. Now, all of a sudden, you've developed an itch to get your hands on him. What is it? What's up? Come on, Nolte, level with me. I don't expect that crooked son of a bitch to level, but you.
Marlowe, we're police department and you're a private dick. Don't get it all mixed up. We could take your license. Just remember that.
I'll tie a string around my finger.
Oh, jeez, Marlowe. Call me when he gets in touch.
I started to think of ways I could break the news about Velma to Moose, but none of them were any good. I forced myself to think of my new client, Marriott, and I knew one thing. As soon as anyone said you didn't need a gun, you'd better take one along that worked. I was having some Chinese food when a dark shadow fell over my chop suey.
You find my Velma yet?
Yeah, I found her.
Where is she?
Moose, I'm sorry. I really am, but
She's dead?
she might as well be. She's in Camarillo, and she ain't coming out.
You're lying.
I wish I was.
It's somebody else.
It's Velma.
I told you it was somebody else. I want you to find my Velma.
You mean that's not her?
No more funny stuff, huh?
Hey, Moose, wait a minute. Is there something... I couldn't figure out why Tommy Ray had given me a phony picture, and I wanted to find out right away.
He ain't been here all day. It's just not like him.
Is my daddy gonna come back?
I was on my way to bail out some rich dame's necklace, but I couldn't get that kid's face out of my mind. I stopped twice along the way to find out if Tommy Ray had returned. He hadn't.
Here's your fee, and it's the $15,000 we discussed.
Right.
We're to make the exchange at the barrier at the bottom of this canyon.
Okay. You hop in the back. Get down out of sight. They may be watching all the way, you know. This car sticks out like spats at an Iowa picnic. Well, there's the barrier.
Aren't they here?
Shh, just get down. Quiet. Looks like a tryout to see if you'll obey orders.
But that can't be.
I'm gonna go out and take a look around.
No, stay here.
Don't you want to get your $100 worth?
They said to stay near the car.
I'm not going far.
Why'd he come to you?
He told me he got my name out of the telephone book.
You expect us to believe that?
We found your card on his body.
They give him out with bubble gum.
You said you left your car at Beach Road and Pacific Coast Highway.
How come we found your car at Marriott's place?
Well, even Rolfe can answer that. Obviously, somebody drove it there.
What happened to the $15,000 Marriott had on him?
I bought the fence bonds.
All right, Marlowe, let's start again, huh? From the beginning.
I told you twice. Now, why don't I make it easy on all of us and tell you just what you want to hear? This ferry hired me to exchange a necklace for cash for a friend of his. We drove out to the woods. I shot him. I buried the 15 grand. I drove my car back to his place, walked 15 miles back to the woods, knocked myself in the head, and then called the police.
You know, we can book your ass right now. You know that, don't you?
Well, why didn't you go ahead and do it? Because if you're looking for a confession, I'm fresh out.
Well, what do you think happened?
Suppose Marriott wanted the money and he figured me for the fall guy. Wouldn't he act just the way he did?
Yeah, and then kill himself.
He had an accomplice. The accomplice is supposed to knock us out, maybe, and then take off with the money. Only the accomplice double-crossed him. He killed Mary. Didn't have to kill me because he figured you'd do exactly as you have, just try to fit me into the frame.
It fits the facts.
It's a theory, anyway.
Lieutenant, Commissioner wants to see you.
Bring him in my office.
You can't over your head this time, Marlowe.
Oh, maybe so. If I am, what are you going to charge me to fix it?
I don't think I can fix it for you, Marlowe. Even if I wanted to.
You can go now. We're going to find out a few more things about Marriott before we get back to you. Oh, and forget about Malloy.
What do you mean?
He landed in Mexico.
Who says?
The commissioner.
Well, now, maybe that...
I told you to lay off the case.
Oh, that's a little more like it. Right on the line, no more of that land to Mexico bullshit. How come, Nulty? Why?
Get out of here, Marlowe. And remember, I warned you.
It didn't matter that you said you were going to look into Marriott's murder, Nulty. I still had a job to do. Marriott had hired me to protect him, and I'd let him down. As far as I was concerned, I was still working for him. Most of the fences I knew looked like they wanted to smell my breath when I mentioned Phi Tsui Jade. But one of them sent me to a joint in Chinatown.
Okay, ngay đợi.
Yes?
Phi Tsui Jade.
You got?
No, I know got. I want.
Everybody want.
Who got?
Only big collector got.
Who?
Grail.
Baxter Wilson Grail?
He got.
Thanks. Judge Baxter Wilson Grail was the most powerful political figure in Los Angeles. He had been for over a quarter of a century. His butler kept telling me that the judge was unavailable until I said I was the last person to see Lindsay Marriott alive. The house itself wasn't much. It was smaller than Buckingham Palace and probably had fewer windows than the Chrysler Building.
Mr. Marlowe, come this way, please.
Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Marlowe.
Hello. Her hair was the color of gold in old paintings. She had a full set of curves which nobody had been able to improve on. She was giving me the kind of look I could feel in my hip pocket.
This is my husband, Judge Grail, Mr. Marlowe.
Please sit down, Mr. Marlowe.
Thank you.
Would you mix Mr. Marlowe a drink, Nelson?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not what I expected.
Oh, in what way?
The last person to see poor Lindsay alive, I thought it would be one of his friends, if you know what I mean.
Well, he just asked me to tag along on an errand. He had to ransom a Fight Sweet jade necklace that was stolen from a friend of his. Thank you.
It'll be all, Nelson. Thank you.
I'm a private detective. I understand you collect Fight Sweet jade, Mr. Grail?
I have one of the finest collections in the world, but nothing's been stolen from me.
He told me it was stolen from a woman.
I wonder what he had in mind.
We only have one necklace.
Oh, priceless. Huh?
Mm-hmm. You don't have to bother with this, honey. You should get some rest.
I think I will. I'll go lie down a while. I'm glad to meet you, Mr. Marlowe.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Grail hasn't been feeling too well for some time. He tires easily. Hell with polite drinking.
Was he an old friend, Mr. Marriott?
Sort of. He accompanied me places.
Well, I guess he had to tell me something to get me to go along.
You're a very good-looking man to be in this kind of business.
Well, I hope you don't hold that against me.
Poor Lynn. He was rather a heel, but to die like that is terrible.
Did you trust him?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. I trust some people. I trust you. Why don't you come over here and sit beside me?
You know, I've been thinking about that for some time. Ever since you first crossed your legs, to be exact.
These damn things are always up around your neck. Do you do this sort of thing often?
No, I'm usually pretty busy. At the monastery, praying with the other monks. How long did you know Marriott?
Oh, years. I liked him. I'd like to know who killed him. When'd you find out? I'll pay you, of course. A lot.
A lot?
Mm-hmm.
Marriott lived like he had a lot. He wasn't borrowing from you, was he?
You're little old-fashioned, aren't you? Your name's Phil, isn't it?
Philip, what's yours?
Helen, kiss me. Who was that?
That was Mr. Gray.
No, forget him.
I'm trying to.
Tell you, it's all right. He understands. What the hell can he expect?
I know he tires easily.
Tell you, it's all right. He's a sick man.
But you'd never know it from the kind of muscle he carries in this town.
I know what kind of muscle he can use from a wheelchair.
I know.
Where can I call you?
I'm in the telephone book.
Well, what's wrong?
There's nothing wrong.
Geez, you're old-fashioned, aren't you?
From the waist up. After I'd parked my car and started for my office, I realized that I'd forgotten to tune in the news. The Yankees were in Washington for a doubleheader against the Senators. DiMaggio could tie and break the record if he hit in both games. I could hardly wait to get to my radio.
Howdy.
Howdy. I thought I recognized the smile, but I knew there wasn't nothing I could do about it. This phone kept ringing. It was driving me nuts. I prayed someone would answer. I didn't realize it was ringing inside my head.
Where you want him? Sit him down. Sit him over there.
I'd once seen a photo of Frances Amthor, L.A.'s famous madam. And there she was, in the flesh.
Hey, did I deliver? Huh?
Go on, honey. Okay, girls. Nice to meet you, Mr. Marlowe. I'm so glad you could make it.
Nice to have a night out with the boys.
Please, don't smoke, Mr. Marlowe. I don't like it. Honey, go on to your room. I just want to speak to Moose Malloy. I'm only going to ask you once. I told you, I don't like smoke. Who told you to get up? I think you're a very stupid person. You look stupid, you're in a stupid business, and you're on a stupid case.
I get it. I'm stupid.
You shouldn't have done that, Marlowe.
The room was full of smoke. The smoke hung straight up in the air in thin lines, straight up and down like a curtain of small, clear beads. It didn't dissolve, didn't float off, didn't move. It was a gray web woven by 1,000 spiders. I wondered how they'd got them to work together. Okay, Marlowe, I said. You're a tough guy. 6 feet of Iron Man, 190 pounds stripped and with your face washed. Hard muscles and no glass jaw. You can take it. You've been sat down twice. You've been shot full of hop and kept under it until you were as crazy as 2 waltzing mice. And what does all that amount to? Routine. Now, let's see you do something really tough, like getting up. I crawled along the floor thinking, how the hell can I get under that door? I sensed somebody else in the room. I wished it was part of my nightmare, but it wasn't. It was Tommy Ray. He'd never blow another horn. I was torn between making myself walk and wanting to lie down on the bed. It was a lovely bed. It was made of rose leaves. It was the most beautiful bed in the world. They had got it from Carol Lombard. It was too soft for her. I was still fighting it, though. Still walking. When some footsteps I heard made up my mind for me. I had to get back into bed, like it or not. I decided to play dead. I didn't have to be a hell of an actor.
Come on, hillbilly. Rise and shine. Come on, outdoor, won't you? Hey, you ain't croaked, are you?
If I had any sense, I would have tried to get out of there. But sometimes I'm short on sense. All I could think of was getting my hands on Francis Amthor. It was an old house, built as they once built them and don't build them anymore. Fitting and proper for housing the world's oldest profession. No. That buzzer's not going to do you any good tonight. I just put one of your boys to sleep.
You've been a very sick man, sir. A very sick man. I can't recommend you being up and around yet.
I may look sick, but don't let that fool you. I'm in a rare mood tonight. I feel like dancing on the phone. I can hear the banshees calling. I haven't shot anybody in over a month. Whiskey. You first. I've run out of trust in this joint.
To your health, sir. What remains of it?
had a nightmare. Silly idea. I dreamed I was shot full of dope and locked up in a room. They knocked me in the head and took me someplace where they did that to me. I vaguely remember somebody asking about Moose Malloy. You were saying?
I made no remark.
What's so important about Malloy? Why was Marriott killed? What's the matter? Cat house got your tongue? What the hell is it about Malloy? Look, this is a gun. When you got a gun in your hand, people are supposed to do what you tell them to do.
Not when you're about ready to collapse. What is it? Come on, tell me, come on. What do you want?
Johnny's with your Doris.
Wait a minute, what do you think? Stop!
What you done to me? Where's my robe?
I had only one place to go, Nolte, and I prayed to God that I could make it. Georgie.
Jeez! You look like you went 10 rounds with Joe Louis.
Did DiMaggio do it?
Sure.
Thanks, Georgie.
So long, Mr. Marlowe.
I went back to my office for the first time in a week after spending a few of the toughest minutes of my life, telling Tommy Ray's wife that she was a widow and the kid that his daddy was gone forever. But DiMaggio was still going strong, on his own record now. Would he hit safely in every game forever? It seemed that way. And why not? He was only 26 and playing baseball in the sunshine. He heard little boys cheer, not cry. Hello.
It's me. I began to think you'd won the Irish sweepstakes and took off.
What else were you thinking?
Thinking about tonight.
Well, what about tonight?
The White Orchid. There's going to be a private party honoring my husband. This is an election year. I can't very well get out of it. Why don't you meet me there around 9?
You're on. 9 o'clock. Bye. the rocks and a scotch on the rocks.
You're right on time.
Your husband has a lot of friends.
Well, everyone in politics does. Enemies, too.
What about Brunette? Is he friend or foe?
Friend. He owns this club. Do you know Larry?
Yeah. A lot of us in the DA's office used to think of him as a hood.
And what did the DA think?
He thought I ought to leave the DA's office. How did your husband meet him?
He owns a top-rate gambling boat off limits, I think. Baxter helped him straighten out a problem with the water taxes to his boat.
Mr. Burnett would like to have a word with you, Mr. Marlowe. It's important.
Go on, Philip. You back?
Nice to see you, Marlowe. You're looking good.
You're cute, too.
We go back a long way. To the time when you wanted to see me spanked.
I still do.
What for? All I do is run towns, elect judges and mayors, corrupt police, peddle dope, heist old ladies with pearls.
Well, you're mixing with some pretty fancy people now, aren't you?
Yeah. You're not doing so bad yourself. You're the first guy I've seen with Judge Grail's wife who wasn't,
about that guy, Marriott. Did you know him well?
She's the one who gambles. He just tagged along.
Okay, what's so important?
I need a little help. You ever do a job, no questions asked?
Oh, no. There's always one question.
What's that?
How much?
$2,000.
$2,000? What for?
I want to talk to Moose Malloy.
I don't blame you. He's so gay, witty, and charming. What's the matter? Can't your boys find him?
No, police can't either. I have friends, Marlowe.
I'll bet you have.
That's how I know Moose is your client.
Look, I haven't seen the guy myself over a couple of times.
That's a couple of times more than anybody else.
$2,000. It's gotta be some talk.
Worried about his health, you can be there.
How nice. As a mediator or to stop the bleeding?
Buy yourself a new suit, Marlowe. Mrs. Grail?
Hello, Laird.
I'll be on my boat.
I'll see you.
Sooner the better, Marlowe.
Where to?
My place?
What for? You got everything we need with you.
She was incredibly beautiful. And she was something, Nolte. Really something. I had no intention of letting Moose get into a room with Brunette, but there was something going on. What the hell was it? I thought taking the money was the best way to keep my finger in. Two close misses. You had to be real good to do that. Good enough to hit, if you wanted to. Somebody put a show on for me. Why? My car was being fixed when I got the call from Mrs. Florian. It was Sunday, and I'd been hanging around the office most of the day, hoping to hear from Moose. I asked her if we could talk on the phone. stupid question. How can you pour a fistful of bourbon on the phone?
Thanks. Where you been? I've been trying to reach you for days.
I've been sick.
In a hospital?
Yeah. Pet hospital. Hey, take it easy on me, will you? Your friend, Tommy Ray, got killed.
What? My God. Why?
You know, he gave me a phony picture of Velma.
I've been in touch with Velma
How'd you find her?
through the grapevine.
You sure it was her?
Honey, I never forget a voice.
Okay. Now, the next time you talk to her, I'd like...
She won't talk to no one but Moose.
I'd like to talk to him myself. I haven't heard from him for over 2 weeks.
What'll I tell her?
She call every day?
Hmm?
Same time?
Don't let on to the Moose that it was me that tipped you off.
No. Look, the next time he gets in touch with me, I'll call you, give you his number. That way she can call him direct, right?
Well, don't go so soon.
No, I've got to, honey. Let me have a rain check. I was followed off and on for the next couple of days, but it didn't bother me. I knew I was perfectly safe as long as nobody could find the Moose. As long as he breathed, I wouldn't stop breathing either. Hey, Georgie, keep an eye on that car. Let me know if you see it again, huh? Hello?
This is Moose Malloy. Remember?
Remember? Yeah, somewhat. Where you been hiding?
But nobody'd found me.
Those are the best places. Listen, Velma wants to talk to you.
Found my Velma?
Well, almost. She'll only talk to you. We have to wait for a call.
Where?
Well, I could come to you.
I wouldn't like that.
Okay, I'll think of something. Listen, how old do you know Laird Brunette?
I never heard of him.
How about Baxter Wilson Grail?
How many people is that?
One.
I never heard of him.
I just thought of a place. I had called Mrs. Florian, left Georgie's number, and now it was up to Velma. I had a million questions for Moose, but I knew he had only one thing on his mind.
Why don't you call?
How the hell do I know?
You told me my Velma would call.
No, wait a minute. I've been slapped, scratched, punched, knocked unconscious, drugged, and shot at looking for your Velma, so quit trying to make a milkshake out of my insides, will you? Come, stop it!
Hello?
It only took a second to know who he was talking to. You could see the 7 years inside melting off him.
Hi, babe. It's been a long time. 15 minutes? I got it.
Pay me back when you can. Come on, I'll drop you off.
Thanks.
See you later, Georgie.
So long, Mr. Marlowe.
It was one of those transient motels, something between a flea bag and a dive. I felt like seeing Velma myself. But this was going to be a real moment for the big guy, and 3 would be more than a crowd. If ever anything didn't belong, that car in the alley was it. Moose, get down! I'd hit them, but I didn't know if they were dead or alive. But that didn't stop Moose. He was checking for his Velma. You were set up, Moose, don't you understand?
She said she'd be here.
Who's trying to get to you, Moose? What the hell's going on here? Was there somebody else in the robbery? Where's the money? Are they trying to shut you up, or is it something else?
They must have my Velma somewhere.
Who, Moose? Tell me. Who? He showed his appreciation in his usual gentle manner.
Supposed to call me when he got in touch, remember?
The commissioner told me to lay off, remember?
Oh, come on, Marlowe. Don't be such a wise ass. There are 3 murders we can bring you in on right now. You recognize them?
No. Why don't you ask Marlowe?
I bet you $5 you can't find a state they're not wanted in.
You're not a detective, Marlowe. You're a slot machine. You'll do anything for 6 bits.
What'd you say his girl's name was?
Velma.
You think they got to her?
It could be.
How?
Come on.
Jesus, what a way to live. Maybe she beat it.
This is the kind of a place Jessie Florian beats it too, Malky. This is all she's got.
Marlowe. Marlowe.
This card that you found on Marriott's body, it's the same one I gave to Jesse Florian.
So they knew each other.
Moose got in touch with me last night. He was worried sick about Velma. He wanted to talk to me about her.
Did you get anything out of him?
Not much. The way I figure it, they called Mrs. Florian right after they missed killing Moose on the street.
Who are they?
Yeah. Well, whoever they are, they knew that Moose would go straight to Mrs. Florian's as soon as he got out looking for Velma. So they gave her a new radio, a couple of bottles. She came cheap. They asked her to call them as soon as Moose showed up. Only I showed up instead. But she made the call anyway. Then they got Tommy Ray to give me a phony picture to keep me busy. They got Velma to call Moose. I figured they might have been holding Velma ever since Moose got out.
What makes you so sure?
I was there when the call came in. You don't think anybody else's voice would have gotten Moose to that motel. So that was the end of Tommy Ray. That was the end of Mrs. Florian. I wouldn't be surprised if Velma herself was pushing up daisies about now.
Why are you telling me all this?
Because I'm going out on that boat. I'm taking Malloy out with me. I get this funny feeling I'm not coming back alive unless I'm with the cops.
Look, if I went out on that boat, I'd get busted.
Well, at least you're honest about it. An honest cop.
I'm supposed to bring you in. If I let you go, and I said if, Marlowe, I'd be sticking my neck way out.
Thanks, Nulty. But that's not what I need. What I need is another drink. I need a lot of life insurance. I need a home in the country. I need a vacation. I'm tired, Nulty. Everything I touch turns to shit. I've got a hat, a coat, and a gun. That's it. Look, we've known each other for a long time, Nulty. You've got to let me go. Otherwise, that kid of Tommy Ray's is going to haunt me for the rest of my life for letting him kill his old man. He will, you know.
Does Brunette know you're coming?
Not unless you tell him.
Give me 5 minutes to start back to town, then do anything you want.
Nulty. Thanks.
Sure.
I had Moose meet me at a penny arcade outside the hotel, and we went to meet Georgie, whom I'd phoned to get us a boat.
I think I found the boat for you. I didn't tell him anything, Mr. Marlowe.
Where's the boat, Georgie?
Out there.
Can you get us aboard the Lido?
You still got a water taxi to take you out there?
Suppose I don't like taxis.
I can get you out there for a good enough reason.
How much is the reason?
$50, $10 extra if you bleed in my boat. 25.
See you later, Georgie.
Let's
Thanks.
go.
Dead, Mrs. Florian dead, Tommy Ray dead, Francis Amthor dead. Only Brunette with his $2,000 wish to see Moose was left. The answer had to be on that boat.
Turn around, we're going on the boat.
Pull over, Hank. Stop the car. Are you crazy?
7 people are dead, Ralph. 7. And the police are driving away.
You're talking about Brunette's boat now. We're gonna get word to Brunette. Marlowe's not worth...
Not worth what? Missing our weekly pickup? Who would you turn back for? Your father, your mother, your wife, your kids? Or is Brunette the only one worthwhile?
Look, I'm getting out of here. You got a little too much religion for me all of a sudden.
Anybody else want to get out? Don't try to warn anyone. If you do and one of us gets out of this, you're dead and buried. Come on, Hank, turn on that siren. This is a police car.
Now?
Burnett's in San Diego.
Now, would you like to take us to Burnett's cabin?
Okay, pull me down. I'll take you. Hey, boss! It's me, Nicky! Open up! Boss? Are you in there, boss?
No, I fell overboard.
It's me, Nicky! It's important.
What's so important?
Just keep the body where we can see it, Brunette.
Marlowe says you want to see me.
What did you have in mind, Brunette? You gonna run Moose for mayor? Or did you want to let him in on why the two hoods tried to drill him after he talked to Velma?
You know where my Velma is?
Malloy, I don't know any Velma.
I'd start lying if I were you.
Keep away from me, Marlowe.
You better start talking fast. Okay, you can come out now, Mrs. Grail. You're missing all the fun.
Helen, come on out. Come on out, Helen.
Hi, babe. Long time no see. You're looking great, babe.
Hello, Moose.
Well, hooray. Now it all makes sense, everything. Velma from the gutter. Whore from Amthor's.
Take away his gun, honey, and we can go.
Don't be crazy, Moose. Don't you understand? Prostitute marries millionaire judge. Judge knows nothing about her background. Not even that she was in on a bank robbery and let her boyfriend take the rap for her.
I got the 80,000, Moose. Just like I said.
She's lying, Moose. She and Brunette cooked up the whole thing. Only two other people knew who she had married, Amthor and Marriott. They're both dead. Amthor told Brunette that one of her girls had married a judge, and that's all he had to hear. Everything was hunky-dory, Moose, till you got out.
Take his gun, honey.
After they missed killing you on the street, and then they couldn't find you? Hold it right there, Moose. They sent me and Marriott out on some cock and bull story, and they killed him because they thought he was weak and they were afraid he'd crack.
Shut him up, Moose. He's making it all up.
Moose, look. Even a band leader, for Christ's sake, a friend of hers that wouldn't say a bad word against her, he got wiped out. Don't you see, Moose? She's using everybody. Why? Okay, Dragon Lady. Who's next?
Hey, boss! Are you in there? It's me, Nicky and the boys. We're out here. Are you okay, boss?
You'll never get off this boat alive.
Hold it! Police! Open up, Marlowe. It's me, Nolte.
Moose never would have hurt her. It didn't matter to him that she hadn't written in 6 years. It didn't matter to him that she turned him in for a reward. The big lug loved her. And if he was still alive, it wouldn't matter to him that she'd pumped 3 bullets into him. What a world.
Come on, Marlowe, open up. It's me, Snow White.
Let him in. You're a hero, Nolte. Headlines. This is no misdemeanor like the colored killing. You probably wind up being commissioner.
What happened?
Let him tell you. I'm too tired. Bagby and Smith, a couple of run-of-the-mill pitchers, stopped DiMaggio. Maybe they had a little extra last night, like Nolte had tonight. I had $2 grand inside my breast pocket that needed a home, and I knew just the place.